guys, Brandon Spilley here from thirstgym.com. Today we're talking about an exercise called the safety squat bar Anderson squat versus chains, or the SSB squat from pins versus chains. All right, for this exercise, what you're gonna want is a safety squat bar, some nice big 5/8 chain, and a way to suspend your safety squat bar on pins and a squat rack. With the safety squat bar, we usually want this set somewhere around the lower portion of our range of motion in our squat. You don't really want to focus on the top half. For demonstration purposes, I have this about midway for me today, but you're just going to pick the pin position, depending on what you need, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. And you just want to make sure that your chain setup is actually a little bit hanging away from the barbell, and you can load this chain up as much as you really want to with this exercise. So I'm going to come around here in the bottom, on the other side, and what we want to make sure here is that when I'm getting underneath the bar, I'm creating a lot of tightness and rigidity before I actually go to press. I'm actually in my squat stance that I would normally use, okay? So I'm gonna be here, grab my hands on the handles. The nice thing about the pins too is I can move the bar around to actually get in position. When it's light, when it's heavy, you're not gonna be able to do that. It's gonna be fixed. So you're gonna be able to create a lot of tension, keep your chest tall, stand up against the chains, back down, push, down. Always leading with your head up into the bar and then down. So as I mentioned, with the pin setting, you're gonna want to set this a little bit lower than where you have issues. So if you're having issues in the bottom or midway, you're gonna want to set the pin slightly lower. As I mentioned, it's a little high for me. Then the chain perspective, my recommendation is to start around 20-25% of your squat 1 rep max. So, you know, if you're a 400-pound squatter, you're gonna want 80 to 120 pounds chain, 80, 100 pounds chain, somewhere around there. So that's usually about 2 to 3 chains per side, but adjust the chain as needed. If you really wanna focus on driving through that weight even more explosively, then you can add more chain weight. I wouldn't really recommend going over more than about 35% as the absolute max, and then use straight weight for the rest of it, because then you're just gonna get too big of a change in the strength curve that you're using there. And then the safety squat bar makes it more comfortable, but it also is gonna focus on your upper back position. And chances are, if you're having issues in the middle portion of your squat, more cases than not, you're doing something from an upstairs perspective. You're letting the bar roll forward, or your chest is slightly dumping, or your back's kicking out. This bar is gonna help you with that as well. And then this is gonna highly develop starting strength. So from the bottom, you're not gonna be able to use the stress shortening cycle, driving up into that bar as hard as you can. And that's what you're gonna wanna teach yourself how to do from the bottom of your squat. If you're using this for athletics, this is definitely gonna be used as like a way to develop power. So you're not really gonna focus on trying to push the max amount of weight you can do on here. You're probably gonna have, 50, 60%, and then driving up as fast as you can, as explosively as you can, and working on rate of force development. If you're a strength sport athlete, you can use it as your 1 rep max variation for the day, and the conjugate system as your main movement. Track your pins, where you get your pin set at, how much chain weight you're using, all that kind of stuff. And you can set some new PRs to focus on that bottom strength. It's also a good way to deloading your training, because you're not gonna have any eccentric stress, but you can still push your max effort variations nice and hard without all the muscle soreness. You can also use it as a supplemental exercise for your squat. Primarily what you're probably gonna use it for is to develop a specific area of your squat that you're having issues with, and then you're gonna do this again probably for 2 to 4 sets of about 2 to 5 reps, and really focusing on just staying up strong, drop the bar down to the bottom. Big thing you wanna make sure you don't do is you don't bouncing the bar off the pins. You're kind of defeating the purpose of using this system. So if you got any questions about this particular exercise, just feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Thanks, have a great day.